My particular um, parents were, as they would say, not. They didn't fulfill the principles. And so when these type of days come, um, I just focused on being me. I don't. I've let all of that go, and I have a lot of people in my life, like George, who needs someone to vent because he misses his mother so much. And he looks at my situation and sometimes he says, you know, I don't think that regardless of what you suffered, I just don't understand how you could be the way that you are in terms of your parents. And I just told him, well, it's, it's the way my life was designed, bro. I mean, of course, I went through the I went through the entire process of acceptance, you know, because whoever your parents are, the creator designed your journey. And therefore your journey is chosen to be a certain way by way of who your parents are, who your siblings are, who is your physical family. That's the way it is. That's the design. The design is not a common design to where everyone's parents is going to be this way. Everyone's sister is going to be this way. Everyone's cousin, you get what I'm saying. Everyone's an individual. And so when it comes to everyone's life journey, even though there are going to be some very common similarities, there's going to be some individual and personal designs for everyone on this planet to walk. And I've just come to realize mine, just like everyone should come to realize and accept their own. You know, I mean, I have some siblings that always criticize me, but he's always holding on to the past and this and that. But all at the same time, I care less what it doesn't mean anything. Because I've come to understand my life journey, and I've accepted my life journey for what it is and not what I wish it to be. I've found my conflict and my pain in trying to enforce um, my design in terms of my parents and my siblings of what I thought that it should be and what I wish it to be. And it wasn't there. It just wasn't there for me. I mean, even with my coming out here to Las Vegas, um, cultivating my own family, and regardless of how I thought that it should be and how I wish it to be, it wasn't so. And so what you have to do, you have to accept things as they are. And after everything shatters, the only the only choice that you have in your life design is to pick up the pieces and deal with the pieces that are left, and you have to continue to move forward because life is for motion. It's for motion. And regardless of how a lot of us wish that it is or what it should be, the reality is, regardless of how you think it should be, you have to accept the reality for what it is. Take it for what it is, accept it, and move forward. In reference to the um, challenge, Mother's Day challenge video, and the video that I put right for this one address it. I understand. I can't say that I understand wholeheartedly of um, experiencing a Mother's Day for the first or second time or for the rest of your life if your mother has passed on. But what a lot of people fail to understand is the importance of the acceptance of death. And a couple of my videos that I had made when I was dealing with the attachments, the dangers of attachment. Now, a lot of people tell me, you would never understand wholeheartedly the pain that we feel because your mother is still living. I agree with that. I agree with that. But I also continue to say that for people as myself and other people like that, like myself, considering our historical accounts of our mothers or our parents in general, you guys are mourning because you had parents who were actually parents. What we have to deal with is that time coming when these particular parents pass on who never fulfill their divine principles of what being a parent is. They never fulfilled that. So our mourning is different. You guys' mourning is missing the love and the compassion and the relationship with your mothers and your parents in general. We, on the other side of that fence, we mourn as well. See, y'all mourn of what you had. We mourn of what we did not have. That's the distinction. One is not worse than the other because pain is pain. Okay? Pain is pain. But the problem is this, is when y'all say, it does not matter what someone did to you. That doesn't mean anything. It doesn't matter what they did. You have to forgive them, whatever the case may be. To say that someone's pain and anguish and betrayal has no meaning, it's flat out offensive, especially coming from some people who had what we didn't have. Now, are we walking around feeling sorry for ourselves? No, we're not feeling sorry for ourselves. You guys, your community, you might as well say, I'm gonna stop saying you guys, but those of you who are on that level also will never understand our pain of not experiencing what we were supposed to experience in terms of what you were blessed to experience when it came to your parents. And it's incredible of how I have to sit here and explain this, because to me this is a bit childish. That most people may say, oh, this is a grown ass man, blah blah blah. All that grown shit that y'all be talking, it doesn't mean anything. I'm just explaining something to you. All right? Because see, a lot of people say, I even heard Minister Louis Farrakhan say one time, well, I don't see it doesn't matter what what your parents did to you. Nothing should affect you to that degree to where you don't pay honor to your parents. It's easy for you to say. It's easy for a lot of you to say that simply because you are Minister Farrakhan. It doesn't imply that you're correct. See, because to my understanding and to a whole lot of people who I've discussed that with, even when I first heard that for the first time, this was years ago, they didn't agree with it. See, your experience with your relationship with your parents is indifferent than ours. And so when you speak of uh, our community, you might as well say, in terms of the people of ourselves who have experienced the non-fulfilled parents because they compromise their divine principles. You can't speak for us. You cannot speak for us. You can only speak for yourself. So why don't you just stay on that side of your fence? Because all I'm hearing is a whole lot, and all I'm seeing is a whole lot of people attacking us simply because you had good parents and your feelings are hurt and you're all emotional. And then when you experience people like us whose parents are still here and we decide not to pay them honor and respect because of the way that they treated us, you guys have a problem with that. Well, you should do this and you should do that. You don't know how it feels. See, you're caught up in your pain. Why don't you, as the Bible says, why don't you go mourn with those who mourn? Go over there on your side and mourn with others who are mourning for their mothers during this Mother's Day. Because obviously you can identify with those. And y'all look kind of foolish trying to attack other people who cannot relate to your experience with your parents. This is it's easy to say this is a complex issue, but it's really not. It's really not complex. It becomes complex when y'all cross the line and criticize those who have not been blessed as you've been blessed in order to experience parents who actually did what the hell they were supposed to do. That is what it is. And even when my friend George said, I don't understand how, you can feel like that, because no matter what she did and no matter what she's doing, that's still your mother. Yeah, it is. It's still your mother, it's still your father. So you're supposed to just put up with it. Still your mother. So you're just supposed to accept. You're just supposed to accept it. And no one is supposed to discuss it or anything like that. And then when they reject times of when you're trying to communicate with them so that you can get past all of this and try to get some resolve, they've done so much ugly that they don't want to look at themselves. And then you got other siblings that's going around saying, oh, you just holding on to the past. And this is the primary sibling that benefited from what you benefited from. And they created a wedge in between you and the same parent and turned your parent against you because they wanted all the attention for themselves. So before y'all start attacking people and criticizing people and telling them how they should respond and act towards their parents simply because you actually had a parent and people like us only had them here physically, but not based upon principle, do some proper investigating, ask some questions, and see why a person is thinking and feeling the way that they're thinking and feeling. Do some investigation. And unless you do some investigation, it's best that you just be quiet. Okay? Because the only way that you're going to really know what you're talking about, you have to do some research so that you can understand both sides. You have to be willing to understand where someone else is coming from and what type of situation and therefore environment created their way of thinking and feeling before you just condemn them. Don't be like the disciples. This is why Yeshua had to take them idiots up in the mountain and talk to them and give them the beatitude that they may know how to approach and treat the people and talk to the people. Okay? Before you condemn, you do research. Before you criticize, do research. And with that being said, y'all have